Diane, I'm listening to a podcast, Black Lodge Trivia Night. I've never heard so many game aspirations in my life.
So anyway, then I took the cream and put it on my nipples.
Nope, haven't. Art has to cut that noise out now. Can't start any.
Oh, we don't have the technology to do that.
Wait, we don't edit the show. What are you talking about?
No, Patrick, you don't edit the show.
I could edit the show if you want me to.
Oh no, you have a baby. You don't.
No, you don't need to do
Control,
that.
Alt, delete.
Right.
Honestly, you know what and I don't know if this is stupid, but it's something that Patrick said at the very beginning. So the main thing I edit out is lip smacks, so that if your wife ever wants to listen, I try and get almost as many as yeah, there you go. Yeah, I try and take those out.
Do I still do that?
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I don't do it as much as you guys, but I do other things way worse.
Yeah, we don't want to see the underside of your desk, so it's fine.
Right.
No, the worst thing is the fact that we're like now 12 weeks into the battery life and you're still getting chirps.
Oh yeah, no, that's never going to stop. And you know what? Eventually, I'm going to stop apologizing. I'm proud of it.
I have the world's longest lasting dead battery.
Cask
Oh,
of Amontillado. Anyway,
how you guys doing?
Hello. And that was my Dougie, by the way.
Nice.
From The Return. Patrick hasn't watched that yet, so he doesn't get the reference. But
nope.
All of our devoted fans, I know, get the reference of any Twin Peaks reference we make. Welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. I am fired up tonight. Super Bowl Sunday. That doesn't matter. We're not talking about that tonight. Talking about Pathfinder, baby. We're back. I'm so excited to be playing this.
Yes. It's so great to be back doing Pathfinder finally. The OG.
Can't wait.
What were you going to say there, Patrick?
I was going to say something really smart-ass. I'll pull that back.
But you're going to throw it to Art because Art's got the trivia. Unless somebody else has got the trivia.
I will just briefly acknowledge that Patrick, yes, is back. It's nice to have him back.
Moving on.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
See you in a month.
Time. We're getting a late start, and I do want to at least I have a very exciting thing to introduce tonight in-game, not like anything cool we're doing, just like a character. So, Art, give us some trivia, because we all know you got it.
Okay, so we're just going to get through it real quick. Like you said, we got a late start. Season 1, Dale Cooper gets shot at the Great Northern.
Yep.
Talks to the Giant. Giant tells him 3 clues. Can you name any of those 3 clues?
Oh.
Season 1. So I was trying to find something that if Patrick remembered, he might have a shot at.
It's been a long time, and I'm very sleep deprived.
Man, I can't even remember any of them. This is crazy because I feel like I do know them. I could hum and haw for really good RPG TV, but Art, Patrick, I don't remember a single clue. I remember the bald guy, right?
Right. Yeah, so the first clue was a plug for Subway. No, not really.
Blimpies.
Blimpies,
Don't
you're right.
Trust Jared.
Yeah, so the clues were, are you ready?
Yeah.
Sometimes my arms bend back. Without chemicals, he points. And the third one, I'm a little disappointed. The owls are not
what they seem. Son of a bitch.
Yes. Wow. A lot of our.
The Giant says that?
Yeah. Those are the I believe those are the 3 clues that is it the Giant? Yeah, it's the Giant, right? The old man just sort of.
The old man just like stands there and keeps giving a thumbs up.
Brings him milk or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I think those are the 3 clues from the Giant. I got to watch this. I don't remember any of this.
Is that season 1 or is that the first episode of season 2?
It's the end of season 1, right? That's the cliffhanger.
That's the cliffhanger. He gets shot. But it's all weird because I know like season 1's only like 6 episodes, and so in my head, season 1 encapsulates stuff that I guess you would technically put into season 2. For me,
but I think that's the like TV end of season 1, right? Because it's like who shot
J.R. Cooper, right? Yeah, in my head, season 1 kind of ends with Laura Palmer's resolution, and then season 2 picks up as they try but that's actually not what happened TV wise.
Right. I think that's not what happened TV wise. Yep. Very good. Okay, real quick, brief rundown. Art and Patrick are their own version of the psych detective agency, but in the Pathfinder world. and we are under the streets of Otari, finding out who's eating all the fish. And you guys used some brilliant psychic detective work to get past a very tricky puzzle last time. It all came down to like there was a solution. You guys just brute forced it with luck, which was brilliant. I like the most psychic detective thing ever. And you found this secret room, right? And you step in the secret room and you pull a lever and you watch this kobold get impaled by the spike trap you see right before Patrick, your character Christoph, right in front of you. But as you walked into the room, you of course noticed a couple things. I can't find my notes aren't showing up. That's interesting.
Now's a great time to plug while you're pulling up your notes.
Yeah,
I've got my Sin from Hell candle going right now.
Oh, look at that.
I only burn it when I'm around you guys. So, red rum. Also, another plug. I don't know. I've been really into playing cards lately. Have you guys bought any Theory 11 playing cards?
Nope. Can't say I have.
They're really nice. They're not like super expensive, but I've been on a real tear lately, and they're very nice. Highly recommend. Play German whist with them. It's great. I think we lost Art.
Nope. He's just been over getting a candle. Oh, he's dedicated to the craft.
He's checking his lobster pot.
Oh yeah, we're back, baby.
You guys don't make any of these same jokes when I'm not here, so I have to reel it in.
Thank goodness we have the candle shot. I don't know what we would do without this.
Really, that's all people want to watch is just pour hot wax on each other. And I'm sorry, maybe that's what I want to do.
Verse.
But
and you can contribute a verse. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Wow. Role playing
at its finest. At its finest. You know what? We're not even actors.
I know, right?
I was
crazy.
I was a thespian in high school, believe it or not.
I know that was your first question, internet, but no, we're not. Unbelievably.
We're just real people, just like you.
Yep. That take pauses to introduce their favorite candles. Actually, I'd probably tell people about Sins from Hell if they were over like, ooh, what are you burning? I'd be like, well, actually, I'm burning the Sins from Hell. Anyways. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we'll rewind a little bit. You step into the room,
shit,
right?
Have we been recording this whole time?
Oh, boy.
Pornhub.
I finished my beer, and I'm a little sad I finished my beer. But now it's like too late to pause. We're already committed to it. So the door opens with a creak, revealing a massive chamber that looks like an audience hall. On the far side, a broad set of stairs leads up to where a throne might once have been. Pillars support the high ceiling, and the ruined tatters of once decorative banners still hang from them. A decorative tile pattern centered in the middle of the room shows the grim coating on the floor. Immediately, you notice, of course, the remains of the kobold, and across the room, you see a larger kobold and a kobold behind them, kind of guarding the stairwell that you can make out behind them, and they immediately notice you. So go ahead, fellas, and let's roll some initiative.
Oh, we're going right into it. All right.
We're going right into it. As you peer across the room, you also see like a humanoid figure kind of caught in a trap behind these kobolds in the corner of the room, and his mouth is bound and gagged, and just he appears to be alive, but you can't understand anything he's saying.
All right.
Wonderful.
All right.
I have the wrong things in the combat encounter. I gotta get rid of them.
Getting out my new 2nd edition redone.
If the kobolds are too loud, I can turn those off. They are ambient. There we go. I turned the ambient noise down. Good. They will roll initiative as well. I just have to add them to combat. Again, I just want to stress how amazing this whole module is. Roll. Okay, so Patrick, Kristoff steps into the room first, and you see the remains, and as you peer down the hallway, you see this Trapmaster kind of stand at this Kobold Trapmaster. I guess you don't know it's Trapmaster, but guess what? It's Kobold Trapmaster. You see them standing at the stairs, and she stands there, and she you hear Kobold jabbering, whatever, and all of a sudden she just bends back and whirls and just casts out like this almost like net-like contraption right in the middle of the room, and like you see it on the floor, but and she's just chittering, and it will now be Kristoff's turn.
I would like to see if I can. So that thing is in the middle of the room. Can I use a crafting to kind of analyze it as it's flying through the air and be like, yes, Robert Downey Jr. this as it's flying through the air, and see what it's going to do to us if we stand on it?
I don't think you even need to make a roll for that. It's a trap.
Okay.
Like, you can tell it is definitely a very painful trap. Different than the one, like less elaborate than the one that you activated. This is very like put together, cobbled together. It's sharp and pointy and rusty, and nothing that you get the impression you want to go near.
All right, so I'll start moving, and if I remember correctly, the squares are all 5 feet. 5 feet. Wonderful. Yep. So I'll start moving. As I'm moving, I'll shout, "It's a trap!" as I move. 1, 2. I'm gonna kind of go hide over here by this column and get my my warhammer out and shield.
Okay.
No, we're just gonna kind of prep over there.
Okay, so you're striding. You are drawing your weapon, and anything else?
There's a reserve action, right? There's a trigger, and I apologize. You gave us homework, and I did not have a chance to complete my homework.
That's okay. It's been a long time since we've played.
Yes.
There's not so much that you can kind of do an aid, but you have to be very specific in like what is going to like trigger that aid, and I think you might be able to reserve some. Actually, now I don't remember. Usually you're like delaying your whole turn. It's 2 actions as a reaction, prepared to take a single free action as a reaction to a given trigger. So you don't have enough left to do the ready. Like, you can't ready attack and say, like, if the other kobold comes down the stairs by the pillar, I'm gonna swing at him as soon as he gets it. You don't have enough actions left for that.
Okay, I'll just pass then. I know that's very boring, but I'm just gonna pass right here, and we'll see how the rest of the room goes.
Okay. Over to Eldrin. Art, what is Eldrin doing? Of course, Eldrin also sees that, like, there's no discreetness to the trap. It's very obvious. This kobold has like traps, like on a almost like you'd imagine, like pelts hanging down from their belt or something like that, except it's just traps because they're in sewers, so there's no deer to trap or something.
Nice. Okay, so what I think I would. So again, just refresh a little bit of my memory, the viewer's memory. Combat, you get 3 actions.
3 actions plus 1 reaction.
And 1 reaction, right. So for my first action, would there be any point to trying to recall knowledge about kobolds to gain an advantage?
Yeah, look at Art bringing some stuff up. Now
that's a secret roll by GM according to our reference sheet, but I didn't know if you needed to know my skill or if you just grabbed it off my sheet or...
No, so you can make a recall knowledge roll. Absolutely. I'm not sure why the reference sheet says that's like... go ahead and give me a recall knowledge roll.
Okay, now recall knowledge is... I apologize. Is that...
So that's an action, and you're going to use a skill to kind of enhance what that is.
So I was trying to think of, would it be nature? Would it be...
Yeah,
Arcana.
probably not Arcana.
Okay.
Like you want to know is like like obviously you've identified this as a kobold, right?
Right.
You want to know like, ooh, are kobolds weak to anything, or do they
Right.
have any? I would probably say nature, unless you think there's a better.
I'm not seeing it. That's yeah, I'm definitely not seeing it. So I'll
Yeah, so like sometimes with like you can use society or religion, or you can get kind of creative with it. I think with like kobolds and creatures, nature probably makes the most sense. And I guess the secret part is like there's no set DC difficulty check for recall knowledge.
Right.
So just give me a roll.
Here we go. Got a 10, which is pretty weak
Uh,
sauce.
It's pretty weak, but kobolds are also like, you guys come from like a fighting, like you're a crime fighter, you're police, right?
Yeah.
I would say that in your training, you don't recall anything explicitly. Nothing is coming to mind.
Cool. Okay. So that would be my first action. Second action, I like what Patrick did by moving. So I'm going to move here and I'm going to spend my, so that would be stride for my second action, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Third action, I am going to take cover just in case something pops off.
All right. Nice. And let's say, Patrick, you took cover as well, because
Okay.
that makes sense. Great. So then it's this other kobold in the back, which you hear. It's kind of dark back there. I guess you can't totally see it. It's move. Man, I got to get back to reading the NPC sheets. I played around with that. Okay, so they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you guys see that now?
I see him just barely.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Because I guess you're kind of behind a pillar, so it's
Right.
probably
I've lost line
on
of
the other
sight.
side.
Yeah.
And let's say like you peek your head out, right? Like you're not like completely hiding; you're just taking cover. So you kind of like this other one's approaching, and he's of course charging forward, and he's got a big spear out. And he's getting ready to throw it, but since you guys both kind of like take cover behind these pillars, nothing happens. The kobold trapmaster like kind of bounces back and forth on his feet, and it clatters and clicks and clacks and whatever, and it runs over. It kind of like you kind of get the sense it's yelling at the other one. It steps over near where Patrick is, and then it reaches on its belt and it flings out another one of its contraptions. And that will bring us around to back to Christoph again, Patrick.
So before we ducked into cover, is this a ledge? Oops. Trying to ping. Is that ledge there? Is it going up or down the stairs there?
I think I read the description as going up, but to me it looks like it goes down, right?
It does kind of look like it's going down.
I think it goes down, and the stairs behind wind down. I think you're in the higher part of the throne room if I was in there.
So I'm going to peek around this way. Oh,
okay.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am going to jump and swing my Warhammer at this guy's head.
Nice.
Okay. Do this with a +1 for the high ground. Okay. So you're jumping down like beside it or in front of it, like off this ledge. Okay. Yeah. So move yourself on either side of it where you want to be. And then I think make this strike with a +1.
Beautiful.
And this is only your second action. Remember, you can attack again with a -5. Oh, don't forget to target hit T on the Trapmaster.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you. So T and strike. It's all coming back slowly.
It's all coming back to me.
Okay, so as I'm coming down, I assume that it's a glancing or he sidesteps out of the way.
Yeah. You're coming down with your war axe, and it grabs the kind of last trap on its pelt and like blocks it with your axe. You have one more action, or blocks your axe with it.
I am going to. There was. I'm sorry, I'm going through all my things. I think I'll raise my shield up. That was
Okay.
yeah.
So that'll give you
Perfect.
+2 to your armor
Raised.
class.
Yeah.
Nice.
That
Does
is what we'll do.
Factor that in. Oh, and boom! Look. Oh my gosh! Have I told you how good this module is? It's amazing.
It's pretty good.
All right. Over to Eldrin Art.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I need to start trying to get fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out. Let me
Uh-huh.
see. Would I go this way? Yeah, maybe. No. So I know Patrick has sort of gone all in, and he's doing like a very, very big kind of maneuver. So I'm gonna go around the pillar.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And what can I do?
Ooh.
Mm.
I will give you panache without a roll if you tell me how you like bait this thing to think one side and then you come around the other side on it. I'm totally cool with that. Like, we don't have to roll anything. If you come up with a good narrative on how you bait this thing to think one side of the pillar, and then, you know, like the whole watch this hand, and then you come around with the other, I'm all good for it.
Yeah, let me take a look. What do I got? Equipment, effects, biography. No, I don't need my biography. Inventory.
I tell him my life story.
So what I do is
It was.
My father did not know if I was a serial killer or not.
It was then when I ascended the tower.
Let me see. What I'll do is I'll.
Have you boys ever watched gladiator movies?
So I'm behind the pillar, and
Uh-huh.
I lean out and I throw the ever-burning torch at the guy. But I sort of I don't just whip it at him. I sort of throw it up in the air.
Oh,
Like it's you know, they don't know what it is. It's this blue thing that I just threw up in the air like it might be some kind of explosive or, you know, whatever. And while it's sort of, you know, dangling in the air and arcing down, I go the other way.
okay. So I'm going to count that as like 2 actions. So like
Okay.
toss. I mean, you still get 1 stride, but like tossing an object. I do want you to go ahead and make a check to see what, like, do you catch the torch on the backside or not? It's not whether you get panache or not. So go ahead and give yourself panache.
Great. Okay, let me see if this works from last time. I gave myself a little... There we go.
And give yourself a... Is it... I'm thinking maybe acrobatics. I'm thinking maybe thievery.
I'm probably comfortable. Acrobatics, I'm happy to do. Thievery, either one. I'm better at acrobatics, so if you let me choose, I would choose that. But
Yeah, give me thievery.
give you thievery. All right, here we go.
I've got a number in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the blue light, like, it just falls to the ground. So it's like right behind this kobold. You don't have it. You don't need to unequip it until you like move away from it, just so it doesn't mess with our lighting.
Okay.
Because like it's still emitting light, right?
Okay.
But you're just not holding it.
Okay, cool. So then I go, you know, then I move into position and I try to do, I guess, a confident finisher. Let me see. You make it incredibly. No, is that the one? When I get panache,
So you have 2 options when you get panache. You either have a passive increase to your combat damage, or you can use your finisher to do your precise strike, which is 2d6, or you can just kind of leave the panache on and get a +2 to your combat until you use it.
I think I'm gonna do that precise strike. You strike with flair when you have panache, and you strike with an okay. You deal additional 2 precision damage if the strike is part of a finisher. The additional 2d6. Okay. All right. So let's see. I have to roll to attack, I guess. Let's see. Dexterity. Bum. Do I have any modifiers? No. Here we go. Wow. 13.
Did you target it?
Let me.
That's okay. That's okay.
Target.
It did not. Did not hit.
Story went.
Great. Ha 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 ha.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so you come around with it, and it's just like maybe the torch falls in its way to like bring its attention to the side of the pillar that you're coming around on, and it brings its spear up and it deflects, and it sees you, and it will target you.
Of course. I just opened up a can of Sound and Fury, signifying nothing.
And it'll miss, and so it jabs at you, yeah, and then it pulls back, and it comes again, yeah, and then it just like it's just rapid spear attacks coming at you, and you're like ding 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 ding, and all of them are just like glancing off, and
Art's very familiar with rapid thrusts.
Heyo.
So so one of those misses was a critical. Does that matter?
Oh, look at that.
So again, for the listeners, a critical failure is when you blow it by 10 or more
10.
below the number.
Yeah,
There were 2 critical misses on that series of rapid thrusts.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there were. Look at that. Tell you what, it's not in the GM core of the new rulebooks. GM core is not good. I mean, it's good for like passive information and learning more about the game and all of that stuff. But boy, from a oh, you would have it. You would have it. So you can still no, that's not right because you can't.
Are you telling me that this Foundry module doesn't have a search feature?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking in the rulebook.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, don't know what a critical.
So it's basically everything you need to play in the player's guide, and then the GM core is all the world building.
Basically is what it is. Sorry, I don't know the answer to this, guys.
That's okay. Oh, that's I think we were talking about it somewhere. That's just like Castles and Crusades. Like everything's in the player's book. The GM book is like tons of world building and like, to its credit, like tons of extra rules if you want to make it crunchier.
401. That was 1 page short. Okay.
401, 418.
406.
406.
Holy shit.
We'll say these new books are really nicely done.
They are. Like, the new core GM is a great read. It's just, like, mechanically, you're going to learn the rules in the player book. And then that's, like, at the very back of the player book, too, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, yeah.
418, maybe? I don't think there's any. I don't know. Sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll figure it out.
Player Handbook 10 or page 446. It says
Of the old one.
I think so. There is no additional penalty for critical failure.
That's where I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Patrick. So that brings us around to the top of the order, and the Kobold War, the Trap Master. Oh, you guys can you even see this thing?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. It will. First action, it just kind of chucks this other trap, and I'm just gonna check something real quick. Oh, whoops. And I'm going to roll. Okay. So it gets its last trap off. So it blocks the axe thrust and then flings the trap, and the trap lands kind of right where it wanted it to, right behind this other kobold on the stairs going down. And then it turns to you, Patrick, Christoph, and it will target you. And it will pulls out a short sword. and it will follow that up. All right,
You're
so this thing is
privately
swinging
rolling
and
the
hacking at
dice.
you. What are you doing?
Ting, ting, ting.
Just
Is it my go officially, or am I?
yep,
Just what am I doing?
Yeah, well, just one.
Um,
So like it is ineffective, and then what do you
Okay.
do? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I've got my shield up, and even though me and the kobold are probably about the same height, right? So it's hitting me, hacking me. I'm blocking all the things. I'm going to use a devise stratagem.
Okay. Nice.
So that's a roll a d20, and I can use it in addition. Do r slash. God. All right, help me
And you're
not be
devising the
dumb.
stratagem against the one throwing the traps, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the one that's sitting there in front of me, I know what I want
Okay.
to do. Like that. So what I'm picturing, the Sherlock Holmes thing where he sees the sword strikes hitting the shield. I've got my shield raised. I'm picturing myself in slow motion, like bull rushing this guy or this kobold into the stairs and pushing him down the stairs. That's what I'm seeing to devise this stratagem.
Okay,
So
nice.
there's
And
that.
do you want? So you can go ahead and roll it, and you can either add your strength or your intelligence. You have a +4 for intelligence, so I assume you want to add your intelligence to it.
Gotcha. That is correct.
Yeah.
So there's that. Me do it this way.
What kind of weapon?
+4. Using my shield. Oh my god.
Oof. So the bad news is the first strike you make against this has to use the 9, which is
Yeah.
not going to hit. Now you don't
great.
have to attack it, but
I mean, we're gonna follow it up with the warhammer. We're just gonna do that.
okay. So that the 9 off your device stratagem. So you find the weak spot, but it's not really a weak spot, and then you go in for the attack, and this thing maybe whips out a dagger or something like that to deflect your blow. So you have one more action left.
All right, I'll just do an over the shield swing with the warhammer.
Okay, nice.
Awesome. Ooh. Everybody, that's several critical misses in a row. With a +7 and a -1, and I lose my raised shield, I believe.
Yeah, that's between.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Over to Eldrin.
Okay. So my initial attempts at flourish and deception did not go so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt another flourish.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little so what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Oh my gosh, a member of Art's family. They've never been on camera before.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
They exist.
They are real.
The flourish is I'm going to try and come at it like
they're not a lamp.
I'm going to try and come at it like it's going to be a sword attack. What I'm actually going to try and do is I'm going to try and trip it to see if I can get it to fall on one of the traps.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
So you're going to sweep the leg or something. Oh, onto the trap? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try and
pocket sand.
I'm going to try and knock it prone, whether or not it actually lands on a trap.
So is that your move, or are you trying to get panache first?
I think I'll try and get panache first by making it look like I'm about to flail at him with a sword.
Okay.
So that would be panache, I guess, with my martial weapons.
Panache is for your type of swashbuckler. Was if you go to your feats, you're a fencer. You gain panache by feint or creating a diversion.
Okay.
So either a deception check or a...
Right. It's going to be a deception check, I guess.
Okay. So give me a deception.
Attribute charisma, I guess. Train, bum. Let's see how it goes. 14.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That gives me I beat the...
So you get panache.
Okay.
Actually, it's hold on. Let me see what its piece. Let me see what I just said it was. Perception.
The perceptive man may pass.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So you get panache. Now the move to make it go prone, which
It's
is
a trip.
Yep, a trip. Nice.
So
So it'll be
yeah.
athletics versus reflexes.
Okay, so here's my athletics. If I can find, there we go. Wait, what's the one I wanted? Did I just choose? Was there one that was acrobatics? No, it was all athletics. Okay, so athletics is terrible. So here we go. But I think I just
pretty
A
good.
natural 20. So it will increase whatever happens here.
Right, by one step.
So it is a success. It had a +7 on its reflexes check. So nice. Which trap are you sending it into? And then you can tell me what happens.
Let's say I sweep the leg and he goes down the stairs a little bit. And yeah, just again for the listeners, that means I probably failed the check, but by having a natural 20, it raises it from a failure to a success. So yeah, I'm going to make him tumble into that trap down the stairs.
Oh, my rolls are still private. Yeah, he rolled. He got a 21.
Oh, nice.
But he didn't crit. He just had a +7 on his reflexes. Which one? Sorry, keeping it again.
Yeah, the one on the stairs right there.
Okay. So he goes onto it and he's sweeping down, and then he's going to make another reflexes check here. But this time, because he's already gotten one, he will take a circumstances modifier of. Let me change this. Circumstance modifier -1. Okay, it's not. Let me put in a. Oh, there. Oh, -1. Okay. Add. Nice. Oh shit! It does not. Art, why don't you roll 2d8 for me?
2d8? Yeah, of course.
Shit.
Let me see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's crazy is he has a +7 modified down to a +6 and still didn't quite get it. Okay. Tell me how this little kobold warrior gets disemboweled on this trap.
Whoa.
And how it goes wrong. Like, you didn't. I think what happened is you didn't quite expect it to work this good.
No, I definitely did not. So I think what happens is I sweep the leg, Johnny. It starts to, lose its balance a little bit, and then it starts to realize like, oh shit, and it's going right toward it. And in its effort to try and avoid it, he twists a little bit, so he just lands like in the worst possible way, right on the trap, right on his midsection, and It just goes, and it's just a goddamn mess.
Nice. Panache and Trip, and you have one more action left.
So now,
maybe pick up your torch or move, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my torch. Yeah, that's a good call.
Nice. Okay. Over back to the other side of the stairs. Patrick, it's got you. Let me make sure I have you targeted. Target again. Let's see. It's been like meeting you blow for blow, and it rolls. Hits.
Curse.
Just making sure. Whoa, what? 1d6. Yep.
Nice.
And it connects through your armor. It finds weak points and deals 6 damage to you. I think I can go damage.
No.
Oh, I did it to the wrong
no.
one. Yep. You might have to do it to yourself. Unless, wait, don't do it yet.
Okay.
There we go. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So you take the damage and then it follows it up, right? I mean, now it's just like bloodthirsty, just swinging. Wah, 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 wah. And now it's going like blood crazy. But those blows, like one gets through and now you're mad. You're like flicking with the hammer. All right, how do you follow up?
I just want to use my shield and drive it into are these columns that we're standing next to right here? Or are they? Or I just want to drive it into the wall. Like I just want to just straight up pin him against the wall.
Give me a shove check.
Okay. Shove is athletics, isn't it?
It's athletics. You can add, if you want, you can do this one of two ways. You can just make an athletics check, or you can go to the action symbol, which is the diamond, and you can browse actions for shove if you want.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Have I told you how good this module is?
It's very good. And there's the shove action. Lovely. Do I need to drag it over to my character? I do. That's fine. All right.
And I think you just click athletics. And I will roll fortitude after.
Oh, man.
Nope. No. So it sees the shield coming, and then it's going blood crazy. You shove it back with the shield, but it's just like, because of how it was swinging in rapid succession, your push, your shove isn't enough to dislodge it. You have 2 more actions.
Okay, so my guy is frustrated at this point, and so I am going to drop my Warhammer. That's an action, right? So I'm going to drop my Warhammer, and I'm going to just try and grapple this guy straight up, because you have to have a free hand. So I'll drop, and I'm going to just try and just headlock him. So I'd be like, come here, you little bastard. So here is a grapple check, sir.
Woof.
Patrick, your rolls, my land.
I have not rolled any. For the folks at home, I have not rolled anything above 7.
You've also critically failed, which is not good.
No.
Yeah. So Patrick, you try to grapple it, and then it takes its sword and just and it pushes you back, and you fall back onto the trap. Give me a reflexes savings throw.
I love it. It's so good.
As you fall into the trap, staring at the disemboweled kobold.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, that's not good.
Why? I'm pushing the dice button and it's not letting me roll a reflex check. What is going on? Should just be a button there, but of course,
the spinning die won't roll it.
Nope.
Huh.
All right. What's the command? Is it R/R or R//?
/R.
/R D20 plus 7 for your reflexes.
There we go.
Oh, thank God. How do you barely miss this trap? It goes off, you trigger it. The trap's going to go away, but how do you barely miss it?
I think I flail backwards with my shield, and my shield catches it. And
your shield's on the ground, remember?
No, so I thought I dropped my Warhammer.
You dropped your Warhammer. Yeah, okay, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So I flail back, and my Lanta as I fall backwards, and my shield catches the edge of it and pinches it and shoots it off in the other direction, and yeah, now I help me, I've fallen, I can't get up because we're old. So
and yeah, you are prone. Over to Eldred. Glorious, Patrick. This is the finest rolling I've ever seen.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. My first action is going to be a stride.
Yep.
Now my movement is.
And these traps are one-time use. So the 2 you guys have set off are obviously they're gone.
Okay. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to.
Get rid of him.
I'm going to jump off here.
Oh, fancy.
And I'm going to push off.
You're going to break your ankle.
Most likely, yeah. My calcium's not what it used to be, but. And then I'm going to push off the column towards this to create my panache.
Now, why'd you take panache away?
Wait. Do I keep it on?
You keep it on until you.
That's. I wasn't sure because I didn't use it last time. I just tripped him.
Yeah. No, you keep panache unless you use your finisher.
Oh, okay.
But I wonder if that switches target. I'll have to look into that. But just keep it for now.
Okay, we'll keep it for now. So then I'm just going to come at him then with a stride. Second action is going to be an attack with my...
Now, Arthur. we're forgetting a key rule of Pathfinder here, which is flanking.
No, I didn't forget it, but am I able to flank while Patrick's prone?
Oh, no.
Like, I know, like, if I wanted to flank, I should
No.
go there.
No. Right. No, that's a very... Yeah, I don't think if Patrick is laying in a trap he's dismantled and saying help, you're right. You're right. I don't think you have him flanked in that case.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
great.
I absolutely did not forget it because I thought that was a really cool rule. But yeah.
I think there's a way to group icons. I need to look into it where it will actually look at all the icons and automatically apply flanking when it applies.
Oh, nice.
I need to yeah.
Very nice. So I'll try like a finisher attack.
Straight for the finisher, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
on this guy.
Okay.
So let's see. That is panache. So it's just a straight attack, but then the damage is enhanced.
Yeah.
That's okay. So do a short. Let me try it from down here. Short sword. Nope. That's just going to give me the info. Okay. I was curious if that would roll the attack. It does not. Let's see. Attribute. Bum 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 bum. Wow.
It's beautiful.
No, you missed. So that pulls panache off.
Okay, so that pulls panache off. And so now what I can do is, if I take a multi-action penalty, I can technically attack one more time, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, I remember I had trouble finding the multi-action penalty last time. It was MAP, and I didn't put it together.
Yeah, but if you're on your character sheet and you just roll...
The MAP on my short
Yeah.
sword. Okay, so if people watching at home, if you're watching my feed, there you go. Wow.
Oh,
But I still do it.
For God's sake.
critical hit doubled. All right, yeah, roll damage. Roll damage, it's going to double. Roll critical
Do I
there.
click the critical?
Because you passed.
Right.
And then, so you hit it right on is what it tells you all that information.
Right.
So then that is a success that turns into a critical success, which means double damage, so roll critical.
Here we go. Is that right? Did I just roll?
Is your weapon only a 1d6?
It's a 1d6 and I rolled a 2. Yeah, I mean, that's...
No, your weapon only does 1d6 of damage.
Is that true? I mean, it's a +1 short sword.
Yeah, it is 1d6. Wow.
Beautiful.
You rolled a 2.
Yeah. So double that to a 4, baby. And that's what I'm talking about. Can I click the
Incredible.
apply damage?
No, I got it. I got it.
Oh, you got it.
I got
Okay. Undo that. I think that makes sense. A lot of modules don't let players apply damage.
Well, you can. You have to switch off the Trapmaster onto you. No, you switch off of you onto the Trapmaster, then hit damage.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. I'll let you. I'll stop and I'll just.
No, that's okay. You hear the human behind you is just like, but in the meantime, the Kobold Trapmaster turns to you, Art, and it just like, you know, it glitters and clatters or whatever, and it scampers away from you, and it moves towards the stairs, and that does trigger a reaction.
Okay. Let's see. Is that just a straight attack, or is there something?
Yeah. Or, well, if there's a reaction that triggers here, which is... Do you have a reaction here? I don't know if... Do you have... It's called Reactive Strike. I don't know if you can do it. That is a class feat or feature. I think you have to take it to do that. So I don't think you have anything. You probably alone don't have anything quite yet to be able to react against it.
Okay.
But it moves away. And then it wields back and it throws a spear at you.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, shit. It hits. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
I love it. This is great. This guy thinks that he's gonna be saved, but like he's just gonna
Little did he
die
know.
of starvation.
All right, so you get 20 points of damage.
Sure.
What?
So that drops
What?
Art to 0, and you'll start making death checks.
That's all right. I'm a doctor. If you remember correctly, we changed me from like whatever I was before to a doctor with battle medicine. So
well,
I'll rescue you, buddy.
that's something interesting. It's interesting that it blacks out your screen when you're dying in here.
I assume I should make myself dying, right?
Yeah, you're on to dying. Okay. All right. Over to you, Patrick. First thing would probably be get up.
So I've had this thing in my head the entire time. I'm gonna stay on the ground. I'm gonna drop my shield. I'm gonna drop my shield as one action. I'm gonna draw my crossbow from the prone position, and I'm gonna shoot this guy in the head.
Okay.
Nice. I like it.
Bolts there.
And it's gonna be great when I hit this guy. Mother!
Oh my gosh.
Another critical. That's like 3 or 4 critical misses in a row for Patrick, right?
Wow.
Okay, so draw your crossbow is 1. And get up to prone. Anything else you want to do?
No, I shot him and I missed.
Okay.
That was so
well.
When we finish this module in a second, because I'm gonna get spear chucked and get 47 points of damage in this level 1 adventure. What are we playing next, guys?
Yeah, that's a good. Huh. All right. Well, he will.
He was about to flee.
Hold on. It targeted Patrick by accident. I'm gonna take you off dying real quick, Art. Nope. Oh, nope. Nope. Stop. Okay. Your AC was 15. That's still critical. You're still dying. Okay. Now it had the wrong. I had the wrong thing targeted. Yeah, Patrick. So it runs over to Eldrin, and it plucks its spear out of him, and then he winds back, and he will throw. That's what they do. They just keep going. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank God. Very good. Patrick, over to you.
Okay. So I'll stand up and I'll reload my crossbow and I'll shoot.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm looking at it now. It's a +5. It's pretty much the best I can do with any of my attacks. So
it hits. Roll that damage, baby.
Beautiful.
I was about to say, it's like for a while, this is like a Coen Brother movie. The way we're all slipping, falling,
your damage
missing.
sucks, though, guys.
It does.
All right, that's a shoot there, Patrick. You have 2 more actions left. You do have a healing potion in your possession, and then Art is also on dying, and we'll make a dying check here in a second. Just as reminders.
I guess I would move. I mean, the guy's right there. I'm not going to be able to, like, treat his wounds with that guy standing right there, am I?
No, probably not. You might be able to... he will, like, if you do anything else, he's not gonna like that.
I mean, so I've got this crossbow in my hand.
You sure do.
I mean, I guess I reload and shoot again. I mean, that's a It's an action to reload, and then
No health potion.
I mean, I got 11. I mean, I'm okay right now. I mean, I don't have my max is 19, so if it gets another crit, I'm gonna be dead anyway. So I'll just reload and shoot with a multi-action penalty of -5, right? I'm sure that seems
Yeah.
seems perfectly reasonable. Hey, there's a 4.
Okay, Art, give me a death check.
Here we go. Success.
Nice. So that decreases your dying value by 1. So that takes you off dying.
Oh, nice.
And you wake up if you ever get 1 more HP.
Okay, so I'm still technically unconscious, but
You're unconscious, but you're not
Dying.
Yeah, so it'll do the same thing. It runs kind of back to these stairs, and then it winds up for Patrick.
So you guys can catch us next week at. I really hope that you didn't put a lot of effort into this because apparently I'm going to be dead here in a second.
Well, I mean, I just want to. I realize that I still have private GM roles on, which is my mistake. I'm switching these to public. I don't think it changes it. I will post this in chat. It rolled a 30.
whoa, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Yep, that's very good. So that is a critical. We play this however you guys want. Patrick is probably dead here.
Excellent.
So let's see what happens. Here's the damage roll because it will be critical. 16 points of damage, Patrick.
So I have 11.
Okay, so you're both knocked unconscious. I do not want to cheapen or lessen the experience in any way. There is this human here.
He's bound and gagged.
He is bound and gagged.
This kobold's going to get his skinning knife out and just make a dwarf and elf coat. Like, that's what's going to happen here, right?
I've never had a TPK. Ever.
Oh, congratulations.
Even when
You're welcome.
Even when I thought I was going to get one in Alien, when I thought all of you would die for sure. Like, no one died.
I was going to say, ironically, nobody died.
No one died. Like, even the character giving a death speech somehow made it out of that.
It was the ascot.
It was. Oh, it's one of my favorite
So
memories ever.
So good.
But
so good.
legitimately, how do you guys want to play this? Do you want some divine saving intervention here to bring you back, or do we wrap it up and say you died and you failed? Legitimately, I'm curious what you guys want to do here, because I've never been in this situation before.
So I think it has been an absolute comedy of errors, and I think that these characters, at least my character, absolutely deserves to be turned into a dwarf cloak right now. Now, that's not saying that. I'm sorry. What was the gnome's name, or the little halfling that was like going to get us, that gave us the quest?
Oh yeah, great question. That was
because
what was her?
Kira? No.
No, that's not it.
Because it sounds like a week passes without her seeing us, and the next group of adventurers is going to come, and one of them is going to be like an orc fighter, and one of them is going to be like, a fireball mage, and they're going to show up and find the corpses of this really old, they assume like slightly slightly just disheveled older couple is what they're assuming, probably, but we're just going to be bones in the corners at that point. Or maybe 10 years pass and there's still no fish. Like, games have consequences.
They do have consequences, which is why I don't want to cheapen this, and
Right.
that's why I'm asking.
So,
Art, how do you feel?
Here's my thoughts. I think these two characters are dead.
Okay.
And the reason why is, one, not to cheapen it, but two, because I think what would happen is, like, let's be honest, like, we were sort of two retirees chasing after our glory days. And let's be honest, like, that's not what we should have been doing. Like, our glory days were well in the past. And our addle-minded doddering that we were doing in the very beginning should have been proof enough. Like, these guys don't have it. And why I think that's fine is because the town is still in crisis.
Yeah.
And so the person that hired us might do a background check or something, you know, and is going to realize, like, look, I don't need detectives. Like, I need goddamn heroes.
Yeah.
And is going to be like even more pressed to find somebody to solve this problem than, and I don't think it's going to be out of any concern for us. I'm sure there's some concern because, you know, she's not a sociopath, but,
maybe,
or maybe maybe this was her plan all along.
Maybe she's at the bottom of the dungeon anyway.
Right. But I do think she would be motivated. Like, you know, this just escalates the problem of the town and how it needs to be solved right now. So
love it.
What I would say is, Matt, if you want to keep running Pathfinder,
I love it.
I think I don't know if we need to do like I'd do it any way you want. We could do it off book, or we could record it as second session 0 if you want to make, or, you know, but I think
however guys you want to play it. I like the idea of cohesive group building, but also, like, we tried that once and we came up with an amazing psych detective agency, which I'll ever love. If you guys want to do like your own, roll up your own characters and you're forced into this situation, I'm down with that too. I do want to interject here real quick. Patrick, you have seen Psych, correct?
Yeah.
You know who Mary is, right?
Yeah. Wait.
Mary?
It's been a long, long time.
The other kind of detective guy?
Yes!
The guy in...
Yes! The other...
What are the brothers in... The McBoyle brothers are in... McPoyle?
Oh, yeah. It's Always Sunny. Jimmy...
The one who plays, I think, Liam?
Yeah, Jimmy something.
Mary from Psych. Here, I'll just look up the... Is played by...
He was in like Westworld, right?
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So he plays one of the all-time great TV characters. Let me introduce you, gentlemen, to Mary the Wizard, who is going to join your party and be based completely off Mary. But the whole deal was like, Art, you're this fake psychic. Patrick, you play into it. His background was to be a haunted individual. But then, like, I was like, if they play it like they don't believe him, then I'm going to have him be actually haunted. And so, like, all of his powers were like occult powers. Like, I leaned into that to make him like less effective. And then I was like, well, if they do believe him, then I'm gonna make them just like them and make him like a fake haunted character that, like, anyways, I had all these ideas. He'll be tucked away. What I do think, the downstairs gets harder. It really does. If you guys are okay with it, like, I was going to introduce this as a third, like, my player character, whatever. I was mostly interested to see how the new wizard schools worked out, which we're very interested. We'll do the same thing, and I can fill the gap. If neither of you play a healer, I'll bring a healer. I figured we didn't have any magic, so I was like, oh, I'll bring up a wizard. However that works. I like both of your reasoning. I like the idea that these geriatric fucks went down below.
They found out.
Yeah, we've got this. We need money. And then you're right. They found out.
Feels more like of an indictment on the safety nets in place of our aged treasures in society. But
yeah, somebody should have had a closer eye on us. Really, like,
right? Because
where were our nurses?
That's the thing. We're just two guys that wandered out of the home in our pajamas, and instead of having our address taped to our lapel, we decided to go take a case.
I'm going on an adventure.
And that was the last we saw of Bilbo. He was never heard from again. So,
we need to be on like the side of like milk cartons, like
Otari barrels. Yeah, you got our sort of burned visages. Have you seen these people? No reward. We're just kind of curious. So, Matt, let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, the pinnacle of role-playing, has the how do they have a system in place, CR, challenge ratings. Does Pathfinder offer a way behind the scenes to? I imagine this adventure is designed for 4 players that are your typical thief.
Yeah, it is.
Do they offer a system behind the scenes to adjust challenge?
Yes, to a certain extent. My understanding is that Pathfinder is extremely balanced if you go through the encounter generation thing. Like if you're like, I need to come up with my own encounter and it's going to be this and that, and I want to bring this in. I have always heard, I've never done it, that it is extremely balanced and way better than D&D's sometimes very wrong challenge rating devices. So I've always heard.
Okay.
Now, there's like general advice like, oh, if you have a few extra players, you're supposed to bring in more people, which we saw when you cleared the first part of the dungeon, and that's why I'm like, I'm bringing in a character to round this out. There's not explicit like things I did. Peeling back the curtain a little bit, less rats in the first room, kobolds in other rooms. Of course, you didn't fight all the skeletons in the other room, and then here, like I let your trap kill one of the kobold warriors here that was, hiding. I thought 1-on-1 would be good enough, but that trap master had 19 armor and a +10 to hit on its ranged attack.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
So it was stronger than I thought.
Okay.
And it had 28 health. That first one was not like you could have handled probably 3 of the kobold warriors, but that trap master was way stronger than I realized.
Okay.
So a little bit of that's on me. But now we have the perfect wrap up to these characters, sadly.
Yeah. So I guess, that, raises Matt, I assume you want to continue running some.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love this so much.
Okay.
I'm very horned back up for Pathfinder to get back into it.
Yeah.
The module again continues to impress. Not everything has been revisited yet. Only 8 of the classes have been touched upon in the new, but I'm beyond excited for Player Core 2 to see what they do. I mean, obviously the classes still work, but I like the idea that they're going through, they've revamped witches. Witches were like an awful class before. I don't know how much better they are, but they've changed them. Wizards get a new way to like how they handle what magic they can learn, and I think it's pretty interesting. So all of that is very exciting to me right now, and getting back in the mechanics.
Okay.
I just love this is what you have to do on your turn if you want.
Yeah.
Or it's nuts.
So I'll say one of the reasons why I've enjoyed the system so much, I know I've mentioned multiple times Mithras and how part of its hang up was we couldn't internalize the list of options, but this really feels like it's in the same vein, and that you got like the wall of options, you got all these special actions you can try, and I love all those types of details that you can add to combat, and that's why I've really enjoyed this so far.
Well, even like Patrick, I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well, but I don't know if you knew that shove was like a specific action, but just describing what you want to do, you have a menu of actions, you're probably going to find something that gets you there, of course. And that's true of any RPG system. I like it being more explicit. The one thing I don't like about Dragonbane is it only has 15 weapons listed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if a short sword hits the exact same way as pick some stupid weapon that you want to see in a game. I don't care if the stats are the same. I want 50 weapons to choose from.
Right.
Yeah.
And have very minor differences. So what about you, Patrick? How are you finding? I know it's been a while since we played, but what did you think getting back to it?
I think, I had a ton of fun. I think that the way that I was wanting to play, I think I made a mistake in the class that I chose, just because I wanted to, the way I was playing it, I wanted to play a dwarf fighter. That's basically what it boils down to. It was cool to do the chase a lead stuff and everything, but I think that's a me problem, not a you problem. I had a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to. I'm all horned up again. I'm excited to, I'm already looking at the classes over here on the other screen, and I'm like, a monk sounds fun.
Nice.
Oh, interesting. That was my next question. I was like, Patrick, obviously not beholden to this in any way, but is there something you're feeling a little bit? Is it going to be a dwarf first of all?
Probably.
Scottish action stays. I like it.
And it might be Australian next time. Who knows?
But you were one possibility just sort of tickling your brain was a dwarven monk.
They have strength-based monks. I'm looking at that. and I don't know if if there's like a drunken kung fu style monk. There usually is, and that makes me excited. Although I did just pass a flurry of maneuvers and and brawling focus,
Nice.
and that sounds fun. So yeah,
just as another, obviously play whatever the hell you want.
Uh-huh.
I was looking at Magus or Magus,
Mhm.
and they're like melee mage combined. Just throwing it out there. But also remember, starting level 2, and we can talk about it. They took the rule out because it does make the player stronger. We can talk about free dual class archetype if we want. They've taken that optional rule out, but obviously nothing has really changed between the new printing and not. So we could obviously still use it. Just know that your characters will be stronger if you're allowed to dual class or not. I think it's either level 2 or level 4. I can't remember when you can dual class. But anyways, that's amazing. Art, obviously you did not plan on dying tonight. I would be very cool to see a monk. Are there any, there's so many classes in Pathfinder. Was there anything else? I know sword and board is your kind of bread and butter. Is there anything that you would like to play or explore?
Well, that's the interesting thing, because what I'd want to do is, I'm happy, Patrick, I think, needs to play a dwarf, and it does lend itself, as you were saying, to sort of like a fisticuffs kind of player. So I'm more than happy to complement that. And so off the top of my head, let me see these classes here. There's part of me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Patrick.
I was gonna say I could be tempted to play a gnome too. Just throwing that out there. A gnome monk. That sounds.
Remember, their quest to constantly explore. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
But I think,
Ooh, kinetics. Oh man, I'm gonna make something. Like, I hope you guys are okay with that. I should ask. Like, are you okay with me bringing a character in?
Absolutely.
I love character creation.
Yeah, so I probably would pair something with, if Patrick had a preference.
And I can bring up that summary that like gives ratings of classes. Like, if you want to play melee, then pick this, and it's got like keep talking. I'll find.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if Patrick goes like monk, dwarf, that's sort of like a frontline-ish kind of character. I would probably take something a little more backline, ranger, rogue. I don't know if I would do a swashbuckler again, because what I found was I spent a lot of time trying to think of something descriptively cool to do just to apply a status. So it's I want to sort of, not that that wasn't good, but I want to sort of try other mechanics. Like I was sort of doing the 1-2 of trying to set up panache, which was fun to constantly try and think of things I was doing, but it's not actually like a variety of mechanics. It's just a variety of descriptions,
a variety of role playing. And there's, for the listeners at home, I'm not encouraging you to replay a swashbuckler. There's different types of swashbuckling. Art had this like deceptive swashbuckler. If you want to be someone who like flips off chandeliers and is like a Three Musketeer, you can do that to gain panache. And they each have their like different panache abilities.
Or what I could sort of do is,
I can't.
Oh, you're getting glare.
The
Knights of Last Wall.
Nice.
I was trying to say this on your stream. I don't think there's a specific Knights of Last Wall class in there.
No.
Unless there is.
No, there am I no, I'm not muted. There's the Shining Sentinels, Crimson Reclaimers. The Crimson Reclaimers was one I was talking about on the stream,
you mean like,
where you're sort of like behind enemy lines. I sort of picture them as sort of like the French Resistance, but there's one kind of knight where their task is to wander the earth trying to recruit. And I felt like that at least could lend it, if we weren't doing like that, could lend itself to why I would suddenly show up in Otari. And
so that's more like faction make, which I love. I love that. And we've talked a lot about Knights of Last Wall and stuff. There's no, like, that's not a class, but obviously that's a dope background.
It's a background, yeah. And so I would sort of maybe think about that a little bit as my background, But I would first and foremost, I would, try and if like Patrick wants to go dwarf fighter, cool. If he wants to do a gnome something.
So the other idea that I might pitch is maybe we were the baddies in this. Maybe we need to play kobolds, and maybe that's the story that the dice are trying to get us to tell here, is that we need to be the kobolds who just are trying to find fish and just survive under Otari. Maybe Otari needs to be conquered, is what I'm hearing. And we should play kobold, and you should be a kobold trapper keeper with 3,700 XP or 3,700 HP and a plus 47 spear or whatever he had. So,
can you play kobold, like a kobold character?
Yeah,
there's so many races you can or heritages that you can play. They haven't revamped all of them with the new stuff, but of course there's millions of books. But yeah.
Oh, were you looking at the Magus, the physicality and technique of a warrior with the ability to cast arcane magic?
I was just pointing out that I looked at it today, and they enhanced some of the cantrips that are like really good for mages. But yeah, so here's the deal. Remember, Art, I understand you want to compliment Patrick. That makes total sense.
Play whatever you
want. There will then be a third one to then fill in. If you're like, well, if Patrick's playing a monk, I want to be a fighter or a champion or whatever. Like, we'll figure that out. So play what you want to play.
Cool. Very cool.
Oh man, now I'm all horned up.
And that's what's so great. Like a TPK has got us like reinvigorated instead of dejected.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I do feel like this outcome is not surprising, given because for all intents and purposes, there's like this old school hack and slash dungeon crawl kind of thing that we're trying to accomplish in this game. And we're not a full party, and we're not the typical things you would want to be if you were setting it. So even though we're doing it in the vein of a mystery and honestly, like, Patrick, I'd be down with like, say we succeed with the new characters, right? The young blood. Mm-hmm. Maybe we sort of like, we in honor of, Eldrin and your guy, they take up the mantle.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, because your guy's name is not next to you. It just says Doctor.
Yes, the Doctor.
The Doctor.
Dr. Christoph.
Christoph
Lassamite.
Yeah, so I could see like, hey, you helped us out, and these two old geezers, they were trying to set up a thing to help this town. Would you want to take it over? And I could see us becoming the new log jams or whatever.
There we go. I love it.
Or you guys emerge from the sewers, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, it's us. And you just convince everyone that you are Christoph and Eldrin. And Tamley's like, are you sure? And you're like, Tamley, it's us. There was magic down there, and it's changed us.
You're so virile.
I think we just have to like go through a litany of USA shows. So we're not. It's not going to be Psych anymore. It's going to be Monk after this, literally. Nice. Or Burn Notice is next. So,
well,
yep,
yeah. What was I gonna say? Or it's gonna be like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's just body after body walks down the dark hallway and gets ripped to shreds. Oh my god, that movie's so dumb. Like, Susie, Bobby, are you in here? Susie, Bobby, Ed, Susie, Bobby, Ed, Rob. That's like the first hour and a half of the movie. And then
that will literally be you guys until you beat the Strap
exactly.
Master. Like, it'd be like, you get me as a third character when you kill this guy.
It's a reward.
I love it.
Just like Eldrin, Christoph.
All right, this was
it's fabulous.
Honestly, it's great that we got a late start and we sort of like shot the shit a little bit at the beginning because we died quickly.
Yeah,
sort of stretched it a little bit, filled the hour.
Oh wow!
I'm ready to dive in. Hearing that you guys want to make new characters, I'm so excited to see what classes you pick and shit.
Is that actually cool with everybody, or do you want to move on to the next? Because we didn't finish the adventure, so if you want to,
we should. No. We have an adventure to finish. Like,
right.
fast forward a week and like we're fresh blood in town. Like, let's go. You know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have this tendency to volunteer Matt for stuff. So like,
No, that's but like now is the strike while I'm horned up, right?
Right.
Like that's the rapid thrust while I'm horned up, because now is the time to get in Pathfinder.
nice.
It's so good to be back to this. I'm just like looking at all these books like,
It's so good.
and I think I did get Rage of Elements. Which is I think the most recent supplement that came out before the revised stuff. It Rage of Elements released with the new revised rules in mind before these came out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice.
So like it's like there's 3 books with the revised stuff. Again, all the second edition stuff still works, but Rage of Elements in these 2 books. And there's pretty cool stuff in Rage of Elements too.
Yeah. I just saw that the Player Core 2 is like still 6-7 months out. So. Oh well.
Bastards.
This was
Well,
great.
Well,
This
was
fabulous. Are we going to record the character making session? Or are
Yeah,
we
it's
just
up to you.
gonna-
I mean, I feel like we could probably do it.
100% up to you guys.
We could probably
You
do
wanna
it
record?
relatively quickly because we've done it before,
Yeah.
and then we could just sort of.
Yeah, and I did when I made the wizard. I went through the in Foundry one,
Mhm.
and like it still works. Like Path Builder is still so good, but it also works to do it in Foundry, which is nice. Well, now I'm gonna stay up late, and I'm gonna make sure I have Path Builder installed on my phone, and I'm gonna
Make some
like 10
characters. That's how
So-
we do it.
Yeah, Patrick, you want to do like we'll start next session by like a quick rapid fire session 0, get our
Yeah.
guys up and running, and then just go in.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, of course. I'll just ask you guys like off camera to think about: do you know each other? What's like merge that together or not, or be strangers that come into town and somehow, if that's the case, how do you both get roped down here? Whether it's by Tamily or something else, or maybe Tamily is moved out. She's like, I'm tired of my fish getting, and like one of you's inherited the fishery. I'm totally cool with that too. We can all kinds of ideas are on
Or
the
we're
table.
sharing a prison cell in Otari. We dirty,
my God.
we dirty dozen
Maybe-
it. We're
What?
Suicide
Maybe-
Squad.
Maybe we're a pair of villains that Kristoff and Eldrin
Put away. We're coming to get our revenge, and like, oh, all right.
Oh well, we might as well take their identities. It's fine. Perfect.
So good.
Good. Matt.
Well, when we play again in 6 months, it'll be really good. It'll be so good.
Yep. I'll have 7 kids by then. It'll be great.
Shooting out. All right, folks, that is going to do it for us. Thank you so much for popping in for another episode of Black Lodge Trivia Night. We're on all the socials, but the best place to hang out with us, of course, is on the official Black Lodge Trivia Night Discord server. There's a link down in the show notes. You can check that out. Blue Sky, Twitter, all that stuff. Shitter, zitter. That's going to do it for us. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Make sure to mix it up in the lobster pot, everybody.
Oh, boy. Love it.
Good night.